Hello, ladies. I am ecstatic to be doing this topic today for confidence. This is one, it has really been a struggle in my life, and I'm going to get very vulnerable with you today because I want you to know you are not alone. So today we are talking about confidence. I may even broadcast this mini session out there on my public YouTube channel because I really want ladies to see this. However, because I am doing that, I'm going to give you a special opportunity at the end of this video. So if you are a collective member, if you are part of our community, stay to the end, make sure you listen because I am here for you. So as we kick off today for confidence, I'm going to start with this question. How much of your confidence is being determined by someone else's success, ladies? Think about that. How often do you open social media and immediately begin measuring your life against someone else's? Maybe you think she's further ahead, or she's making more money, or she has a bigger business, more followers, more opportunities, a better title, a larger platform. Before you know it, you're questioning your own progress, and this is so rampant and so real. But here's the thing. Comparison does not just steal your joy. It actually distorts your identity. So hang with me today, ladies, because we're going to jump into this. The moment you begin measuring your worth against someone else's journey, you have taken your eyes off of the life that God has entrusted to you. We all have our own paths. We all have our own skills. We all have our own gifts. And you're comparing yourself to the perception, not even the reality, the perception someone else put out for you to see. So today, we are talking about how to build confidence that does not depend on comparison. So if you followed me for a while, I am huge on leadership and growth for women, but I'm going to get very vulnerable with you today. And it's because I want you to know you are not alone. This is so rampant among women in business, women in leadership, women who are executives or rising up that ladder, women who have started businesses or simply running their home. And I want to help you overcome this. So here we go. Jump in with me and let's get started today. There have been seasons in my life where I have been in some very, very tough places. And I looked around more than I looked forward. I'd see someone else's success and immediately think, oh my gosh, I am behind. They're doing more than I am. I should be further along. And I'd have the ought self-talk. I ought to be doing this. I should have done that. But that's not the reality, ladies. We are all at different points in our journey with different plans ahead of us, with different skills and different gifts and different businesses, different personalities. So we cannot compare. We don't even have the information to do so. Maybe you have felt that too. But here's the thing. I was comparing my behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. Think about that. On social media, people are putting what they want you to see. They want you to see the good and the growth and, all the positivity, but you have no idea what is going on behind the scenes. You don't know what debt their business is in. You don't know how long it took them to get to where they are. It could have taken them 15 years and maybe they just didn't advertise it. So here's the thing. I knew my struggles and my doubts and the setbacks that no one else saw, but I didn't know other people's. Comparison was giving me incomplete information and then convinced me to make complete judgments about my own life. And that is very dangerous. You can get into some big holes when you have that thought process. Because when comparison becomes your measuring stick, confidence becomes impossible. No matter how much progress you make, someone will always appear further ahead. The question isn't whether someone else is succeeding. I want you to think about this. The question is whether you are becoming that next version of yourself, the woman you're called to be, you know that you're meant to be. So here's what I want you to remember today, ladies. Confidence grows when you stop measuring your life against someone else's, and you start measuring it against your own and your calling. So here are 3 pieces I want you to walk away with today. The first one is this: success is not a limited resource. Think about that. There is finality for a lot of things in this world, but there is no finality with success. There is no ceiling. There is no limit. You can succeed no matter what is surrounding you, or no matter who else is succeeding as well. Someone else's opportunity does not eliminate yours. Someone else's promotion does not prevent your growth. Someone else's business succeeding does not mean that yours can't. It should really light a fire under you to show you what is possible. But comparison makes us believe there's only room for so much. There's only room for one person to win, and that's simply not true. If you are dealing with this, struggling with this, if you have in the past, instead of asking when you get into this mindset, why them? Why are they succeeding? Start asking yourself, what can I learn? How do I do that too? How do I get myself to where I am called to be, what I am doing? And celebrate people, learn from people, be inspired by them, but don't become discouraged by what you see, because again, it is only the perception and the snapshot of a moment in time. It is not the reality. Their journey is not your assignment. The second thing I want you to walk away with today is this: the healthiest comparison you will ever make is looking at yourself. And it could be looking backward, it could be looking forward. So I want you to ask yourself, am I more disciplined than I was 6 months ago? And then 6 months ahead, where can I strive to be? Do I recover from setbacks more quickly now? And will I continue to do so in the future? Am I communicating more clearly now? And will I improve my communication skills over time? Am I leading with greater integrity? Am I becoming more courageous? Questions like that, those questions, they build confidence, because we look to where we were, and then we look to that version that we know we are capable of being, that we desire to be, that we are called to be. Because now you're measuring growth instead of status on a false pretense. The woman you were a year ago would probably be amazed by what you're taking for granted now. Do not overlook your own progress simply because you're so focused or more focused on someone else's. The third reminder for today: every one of us has a different path. We have different gifts, different experiences, different opportunities, different backgrounds, different timing, different everything. Look in a mirror. There's no one in the world who looks like you. And even if you're identical twin, you are different. Your gifts are different. If you spend all of your time watching someone else's lane, you will drift out of your own. One of the greatest acts of confidence is staying faithful to what you have been called to do, keeping promises to yourself, even when you see the perception of someone else growing faster. So when someone else gets recognized, when someone else seems to have an easier path, your responsibility is not to compete with them. Your responsibility is to steward what you have been given, and that's where peace and confidence comes from. So with that, I would encourage you to take a look at the gifts that you have. Remember your worth, remember your abilities, remember the confidence that you have in yourself. Remember to lead with humility and gratitude, and be content while you continue to pursue excellence. So I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions today. Where am I comparing myself the most? How is that comparison affecting my confidence? And what would change if I focused all of that energy on becoming a better version of myself instead? Because every minute you spend comparing is a minute you are not investing in your own growth. And again, I'm going to be a little vulnerable here, ladies. I have wasted so much time comparing myself to things that were not healthy, that were not a reality, that were not helping me, my business, my clients, my network, my children, my family move forward. I have had so much time wasted, and I don't want you to waste time time like I have in the past. So here is your challenge for today. For the next 24 hours, ladies, stop comparing. When you see something that you would default to comparing yourself to, even if it is a small thought, I want you to intentionally celebrate that other woman's or other person's success. Then write down 3 things and 3 ways that you have grown over the past year immediately. So if you see that woman who appears to have it all together, is growing her business, who's doing amazing things, and you're like, I'm just not there, write down 3 things you've done over the past year and congratulate her. Don't think about your accomplishments. Think about your growth. Think about your character. Think about your leadership, your confidence, and your perspective, because confidence is not believing you're better than someone else. It's knowing you don't have to compare yourself to anyone else. So again, here is the reminder for this month. We're kind of standing on this foundation. The life I want is built by the standards I keep when no one is watching. One of those standards, ladies, is refusing to let comparison define your confidence. So I want to encourage you to continue taking your single faithful step at a time. Have an incredible Thursday, and I will see you for our next growth day. However, if you are a collective member, a member of our community, I am going to offer you a single session. I don't do this very often, but a single session to dive into some of these comparison conversations and these confidence conversations, because I will tell you, it was a struggle for me in the past. And I am always a work in progress myself. I want to encourage you. I would love to share a little bit more about my story with you. But more importantly, I want you to overcome these challenges if you are having them. If you are seeing someone else and you're just comparing yourself and you're wishing things were different and you're going down those rabbit holes, reach out to me. I would love to have a conversation with you. Let's jump on a call. I will drop a link for you to schedule a quick conversation with me, ladies, because like I said, this is so near and dear to my heart. I want to help you overcome these challenges and be that confident woman that you are meant to be. I hope you have an absolutely incredible day. If you are not part of my community or my collective, I want to encourage you, join us, jump into this. It is something that I think will change your life and your business. That's the goal here, to help 1 million women grow in ways personally and with their business. So join the collective. Would love to have you be a part of this. And if you join, I will extend this offer to you for a limited time to schedule this conversation with me as well, to overcome these challenges with comparison and confidence. Have an incredible day, ladies, and I will see you for our growth day next.